Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Perplexed Damage. Today we got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dice Masters, finally came out, so you can get the starter set, and that is $14.99, and it includes 8 character cards with 10 action cards and 4 corresponding 3 sets of color dice in the cards, and then of course sidekicks and dice. I will go over just mostly the cards, and then also the gravity feed box for about $90 came out, and that's 90 packs. So we roughly just need about 16 rares and 2 super rares. We were lucky enough to pull 2 super rares in a box. So I'm just going to try to do a close-up for you of the cards really quickly, tell you everything that's in the starter, and some of the cards we got. So, alright, let's take a peek. First, we're going to look at the cards from the starter set. So this one was a little bit different because unlike A vs. X and Kenny X-Men, they did not put 3 of the character cards in there. They only put 1 card in there. So this is a smaller set. I believe there's about 110 figures, or 110 cards. And so here we go. Okay, get this positioned right. Alright, so there is Blue-Eyed White Dragon. This is a 6-pointer for a bolt type of energy. And what it has is one single burst is located on level 1 and 2. It's got when this monster attacks, your opponent knocks out one of his or her monsters. And then with the 2 bursts on the last one, on the top level, when this monster attacks, your opponent loses life equal to level of his or her highest level monster. So, pretty good. Its top is a 3, 8, and 7, so not too bad. Okay, next we got Celtic Guardian. This is a 4 with another lightning bolt for energy. It's got a special. When this monster attacks alone, it gets +2 defense. And it's got a burst where it says it gets +1 defense for each other bolted monster in the field, both players. So that's pretty good. That's just making sure that it's got a lot of defense on it. So. Alright, next one is Dark Magician. This is a 6-point with a mask for a little wit. And the names that go with it is Blue Titan, Elven Warden, and this one is Friend to the Pharaoh. Its card is when summoned or fielded, you may pay 2 life to draw and roll 2 dice. The top level is 377, so pretty good. This is just making sure that hey, you can pay life and still draw dice, so that's pretty good. Next one is a 3-point fisted character. It's a Harpy Lady. Harpy Lady is a Furious Foul. It's if 1 or more sidekicks attack either players, this monster gets +1 attack, +1 defense. And it's got a burst when this monster attacks. Up to 3 sidekicks get +1 attack. And the top one for this is 2, 3, 4. Next one is Caribou. It's a 3-point shield. This one is a cute furball. It's got All it has is a burst. Single burst is during your attack step. If this monster is assigned enough damage to knock it out, your non-caribou monsters do not get knocked out this turn. And its top is a 1/2/4. Next up is Legend, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp. And this is a mighty genie for 4 points, and it's a fisted. It is when summoned, knock out up to 2 opposing sidekicks. There's a burst. When this monster knocks out another monster, your opponent loses 1 life. And it's a 2/5/5 on the top. And when you hear monsters, it's been said that those are mean characters. So, and that's especially important for this next one. Next one is a Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is probably the one card that will probably end up breaking Dice Masters right now, because it is so powerful. This is a 6-costed energy bolt. While active, bolted monsters or characters cost 2 energy less for you to buy. And it's got a burst. When summoned, move 1 die from your opponent's prep area into the used pile. And its top is a 3/7/7. So basically, this just means that stuff like Green Goblin, like Gobby, Human Torch, Ghost Rider, especially Ghost Rider and Human Torch, they will literally be for free. So, because 2 minus 2 is 0. So, very powerful monster there. And the last one that came in the starter is the Time Wizard. This is a 4-point mask. This is Time Roulette. When summoned, name a die and draw a die from your bag. If it matches, add it to your prep area. Otherwise, return it to your bag. It's got a burst. When this monster gets knocked out, you may knock out a fisted monster with cost 4 or less. And the top level for this is a 1/3/4. This one was useful today when we were practice playing these cards. When my opponent would do that, try to guess what's in his bag, he actually knew that, you know, at the time he only had sidekicks, so all he had to do was to guess sidekicks. And he would pull out a sidekick dice. So as long as you actually know pretty much like almost what's in your bag, this should work very well. Okay. Also, we got 10 of the basic action cards. This basic action card is Change of Heart, and it's worth 4 points for 4 energy. This is at the start of your attack step. Take control of an opponent's monster with a lower level than one of your monsters. Attack with it. This is sort of like probably like possession. And instead, you may take control of a monster of equal level with a single burst. So, sort of like possession. Next one is, for 3 points, it is Crush Card Virus. Knock out one of your monsters in the field to knock out an opponent's monster up to 1 level higher than yours. Alright, this one is going to be a major one. This is a 3-pointer. This is called the Horn of the Unicorn. And it's a basic action card, and 2 of your monsters get +1 attack and +1 defense. And then it's got an energy burst and a double energy burst for damage those monsters deal in excess of the total defense of their blockers is dealt to your opponent. So this will be very, very major. This also has a global. It's just like the Envon. It's pay a bolt and target monster gets +1 attack. So got another use for that card. Okay, this one is a 4 cost. And this is a Mirror Force. Knock out a level 1 monster or with 2 bursts, knock out a level 1 or 2 monster instead. Then it's got a global. You pay a fist, and target blocked monsters deals no damage. So pretty good there. We got a 4-point mirror wall. This one is play this die on an opposing monster. That monster has half of its normal attack and defense rounded down. Return this die to your use pile when the monster is knocked out. Next one is a Monster Reborn. It's a 3-point. What this is a roll a monster from your use pile. If it rolls a monster face, summon it at no cost. Otherwise, place the die in your bag. So, I think this might be a little bit like Transfer Power. Okay, next is a 3-pointer. It's called Mystic Box. Choose an opposing monster. Your opponent draws a die. If it is a monster, replace the chosen monster with that die at its lowest level. Otherwise, return it to the bag. It's got a global. Pay a shield. Swap the attack value of one of your monsters with that one of an opposing monster. So, once again, this is like the Transfer Power global. So, okay. This is a 4-point Spellbinding Circle. What this is place this die on an opposing monster. That monster cannot attack. Return this die to your use pile when the affected monster is knocked out. So, this is pretty good. It's pretty good in making sure that you control a single figure. So until it's knocked out. So, I mean, it can still block, but it can't attack. So, okay. Swords of Revealing Light. This is a 4-point. And we have choose one monster. That monster can't attack until the start of your next turn. This would probably go with characters such as useful like a Black Widow or a Green Goblin, or even sidekicks. Yeah, sidekicks might work there too. It's also got a global. Pay a mask. Target monster cannot block this turn. And your final one is Wabuku. It's a 3-point. And this is place this die touching one of your monsters. That monster cannot be knocked out while blocking. Place this die in your use pile at the end of your opponent's turn. So if you have a very powerful piece that you do not want to be knocked out, if it blocks, this is a good card to put on it, or a good dice to put on it. Okay, so that was pretty much the starter. Okay, next we got, I'm just going to go briefly over these. These are the majority of the cards we got. Like I said, we just need 16 rares and 2 super rares, so we're just going to go through these pretty fast here. Okay, starting off, we have the Baby Dragon. This is called Juvenile Reptile. This is a 3-point energy, a bolt energy. You can see that this has the little, I think it's called like fuse or something. Somebody used it. Fusion. Yeah, this has the fusion symbol, so that's pretty key right there. Pretty much this is a 1/4/3 with a level. And then we have, that was the common, and this is the uncommon version. This is a 4-point bolted energy with the fusion. This is Soft Scales. You can see what his special is there. Okay. When this monster attacks, you may pay a bolt to give it +2 attack. And we got another one. This is a 4-pointer baby dragon. This is the rare. This is cute but dangerous. When this monster attacks, it gains +1 attack for each other bolted monster you control. Pretty cool. Okay, the next one up is the common Black Luster Soldier. It's Ultimate Soldier, 5-pointed fisted. You can see it there. It's got a new thing called Ritual, and I just believe that that's pretty much like a global. This is a 2/7/7 for a top. If you attack with only a fisted monsters or characters, this monster gets +1 attack. And the witch rule is you may move a monster from your reserve pool to your use pile to pay this monster's summoning cost. So, actually pretty good. I mean, all you gotta do is move like a single sidekick. So, pretty good. I mean, with the cost of 2, 2, and 2, I mean, just having to just move one single character, I mean, that's pretty good. This next one is the, uncommon, a Black Luster Soldier. It's a 5-fisted Chaos Blade. When this monster attacks, your other fisted monsters get +1 attack and +1 defense. It's got a witch rule. You may move a monster from your reserve pool to your use pile to pay for. Okay, it's the same exact thing. So, okay. Up next is Blade Knight. This is Lone Wolf. It's a 4-point fisted. When this monster attacks alone, spin an opposing monster down to level 1. Let's see what that looks like. It's 2/5/4, so pretty good. Next one for that is Blade Knight Solo Act. This is a 3-fisted, and this is when this monster attacks alone, any damage it deals in excess of the defense of its blockers is dealt to your opponent. This is a 2/5/4. As I said before, there it is. It's pretty cool. Sorry about the little glare there. Okay, and the last one is the rare Blade Knight, 4-point fisted, last man standing. When this monster attacks alone, only one monster of equal or lower level may block it. Monsters of higher level cannot block it. Well, duh. But here it is. Okay. Moving on, we got Blue-Eyed White Dragon, Terrifying Behemoth. This is a 6-point bolted. When this monster attacks, it gets +1 attack for each other attacking monster. And it's got a burst. When summoned, deal 3 damage to one target monster. And it's a 3/8/7, just like in the starter. There it is. Not too bad. Okay, that I believe is the common. So we don't have the rare to that. Alright, up next is a 4-point fisted. It's Breaker the Magic Warrior. And this is a Mana Break. And you can see that right there. It's a 1/4/4. It's a when summoned you may move an action die from the field to its use pile. Next up, we got the Breaker, the three-fisted Breaker, the Magical Warrior, Mystical Magus. When summoned, if your opponent has more monsters in the field than you do, draw and roll 1 dice. So there it is. Pretty cool. Alright, that is the uncommon. Okay. We have Buster Blader up next. This is Dragon Butcher. This is a 5-point bolted character. When this monster cannot be blocked by monsters with dragon in their title. This is a 3/6/8. So, not too bad. The only problem is that you would not be using this card if you're just playing against like A vs. X or King X-Men. None of those have dragons, but you know. But still pretty powerful. Right, up next we got a 5-point bolted, and that version of a Dragon Slayer. This is when this monster attacks or blocks, it gets +2 attack and +2 defense for each level 3 monster your opponent has in the field. So, very much defense is going up. And the last one is the rare of that is the Dragon Executioner. This is a 6-point bolted. At the start of the attack step, this monster gets +1 attack, +1 defense for each non-sidekick monster in your opponent's use pile or prep area. Wow. 368. Wow. This guy is making sure that he gets the attack and he stays put. So he's making sure that he stays put. There's a 1, 2, 3 for field cost. So not too bad, not too bad. Alright, up next is the common Celtic Guardian. This is lightning fast. This is a 4-point energy bolt. If none of your other monsters block, this character gets +4 defense. So, pretty cool. This is a 1/3/5. And then we have Celtic Guardian Silver Blade Slash 4 bolt. When assigning damage in an attack step, this monster assigns and resolves his damage before opposing monsters do. Okay, this is a 1/3/5. This is sort of like probably the Robin Hood from the Hawkeye Robin Hood from A vs. X. That's what it sounds like. Okay, moving right along. We have the Curse of Dragon, the Bony Body. This is the common 4 bolt. When this monster damages an opponent, return it to your bag instead of your use pile. This is a 2/6/5 for its top level. You can see that right there. Okay, the next one is the 5 bolted of the same dragon, Dragon Flame. While active, the first time you summon a monster, each turn this monster gets +2 attack and +2 defense. And it's 2/6/5. Sound a little bit like Iceman, a little bit like Iceman. Okay. Next up is the Dark Magician. This is a 6 with a mask. It's a master spellcaster, and while active, at the beginning of each turn, lose 1 life and draw 1 extra die. It's a 3/7/7, like it was in the starter. So there it is, right there. And this appears to be the common. And then the uncommon version of that is the... Wait. Is it uncommon? No, the rare version is the Dark Magic Attack. It's a 6-point mask. While active, whenever you draw an extra die, beyond the ones you draw at the start of your turn, draw 2 dice instead and lose 1 life. Yeah. Okay, not too bad. He likes to do a lot of drawing of extra dice and losing life for you, so that's just something that you would have to deal with. Take a chance on, you know? Okay, we got Dark Magician Girl. This appears to be the common. It's a 5-point mask, and it's Arcane Companion. Alright, its special is at the start of your attack step, this monster gets +2 attack if you have any monsters in your use pile. This is a 1/5/7. And then the uncommon is a Powerful Sorceress. It's a 5-point mask. At the start of your attack step, this monster gets +1 attack for each monster in your use pile. So, here it is. Okay, and the rare is a 5-point mask, Dark Burning Attack. If this monster does not block when you assign combat damage, this monster may deal its attack value and damage to an attacking monster. So, not too bad. She kind of like stays put, and then she can attack from the field. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. So next up is the Doom Caliber Knight. This appears to be the common. It's a 5-fisted, and it is right there. It's a little dark. It's a 2/6/6. When an opponent uses an action die, you may cancel the effect and knock out this monster. And the next one is the uncommon. And it is a 5-fisted, fiendish fighter. While this monster is active, it cannot be the target of action dice or abilities. And the global is pay a fisted. When you attack, your monsters cannot be the target of an action dice or card abilities. Wow, that is a good global. See that? That is a good global. Wow. That is really good. That is getting around pretty much everything except for globals, or globals would be included with the abilities, but wow, that is a really good global. Okay, so, and then we have the rare. It is the Dark Cavalry. This is a 5-fisted, and this is a pretty long description. This is if an opponent uses a global ability, you must spin this monster down 1 level to cancel the ability and prevent that ability from being used again this turn. You cannot spin down a level 1 monster, so it does not cancel. Okay. Alright, so if he's at level 1, you cannot cancel it by spinning him down, because otherwise he'll just get on the 2 fists. So now we have Flame Swordsman. This is a Master Swordsman. It's a 5 bolted. When summoned, this monster gets +2 attack until the end of the turn. This is a 3/6/6. And then we have the Flaming Sword of Battle. This is the uncommon version. 5-fisted, or 5 energy bolt. This is at the start of the attack step. If your opponent has more monsters in the field than you do, this monster gets +2 attack and +2 defense. Okay. And then Flame Swordsman, Salamandra Flame Strike. This is the rare, and it is a 6 bolted. When summoned, your attacking monsters get +1 attack and +1 defense until the end of the turn. So pretty cool. This is a pretty good team piece. Alright, next up we got a 6-point bolted. It's Yugioh, the Fierce Knight Charging Stallion. If this monster damages an opponent, it deals an equal amount of damage to one target monster. And it is a 2/7/6. So, pretty cool. Okay, that same one, it's a Spiral Savior. The uncommon is a 5 bolted. If this monster is blocked and not knocked out, it also deals half its damage rounded down to your opponent. So, not that bad. Okay, and then we got Yugioh the Fierce Knight, Dexterous Jouster, 6 bolted. While this monster is active, whenever an opponent summons a level 3 monster, deal 2 damage to that opponent. Okay, next up we have Goblin Attack Force. This is the common. These guys are pretty cool. This is a charge. It's a 3-point fisted. This monster must attack if legal. If a level 2 or higher monster damages you, knock this monster out. And it's a 2/7/1, so pretty powerful on attack. So it's pretty powerful. The uncommon version is the Goblin Squad. This is 4-fisted. This monster cannot block. If you are damaged, knock this monster out. It's got a global pay fisted. Target monster must block this turn if legal. It's 2/7/1. There you go. And then we have the rare. It's an Unruly Throne. It's a 4-fisted. This monster must attack. if you are damaged, knock this monster out. So it's sort of like the same exact thing, except it goes up 1. Wait a second. Okay, so this is saying level 2 or higher. This is saying just if you're damaged. Okay. Pay a fist for a global target monster. Must block this turn if legal. Next up is Harpy Lady. This is just like in the starter. This is a 3-point fisted. And this is, when summoned, you may spend a psychic die in your ready area to its monster side. It's a 2/3/4. That is just the common, and we do not have the rare. Yeah, rare. Okay. Harpy Lady Sisters. This is a 5-fisted. This is the monster cannot be blocked unless it is blocked by 2 or more monsters. It's a 3/7/6. So, pretty good. The 5-fisted uncommon is a Triangle Ecstasy Spark. If this monster is blocked by only 1 monster, it deals 2 damage to your opponent. Wow. Okay, it's forcing people to block them. It's a 3/7/6. That's pretty good too. Alright, then the Harpy Lady Sisters Trio of Terror. It's a 6-fisted. When this monster is attacking, after blockers are assigned, it deals 1 damage to your opponent for each opposing monster that does not block. Wow. These guys are good. These chicks are good. Okay. And then we got this lovely lady here. It's a common Injection Fairy Lily Rocket Attack. This is 2-fisted. This is nice and blank. Nice and blank. This is a 1/4/4. Next up, we have the uncommon of that. It's a Forced Injection. It's a 3-fisted. When you assign this monster to attack, you may take 2 damage to give it +3 attack. And right there. The next one is a Fairy Nurse. It's a 4-fisted. It is the rare. When you attack, you may move 1 of your monsters in the field to the use pile to make this monster unblockable. So, pretty cool. Alright, next is Jinzu. Next up, we got Jinzu. That works. You can see Jinzu. It's a 5-shielded. It looks like a cyber energy shock. When summoned, move all action dice of both players in the field or reserve pool to the use pile. So it gets rid of everything. We have a 2/7/5. Okay, this looks like the common or uncommon. 5 shielded. It's a Mechanical Master. When summoned, discard 1 action die from either player's field or from your ready area. Okay. Okay. And this one is Trap Destroyer. This is the rare. It's a 6 shielded. And it is, while this monster is active, your opponent must pay 2 life to use an action die or global ability. So, wow. Okay. And then the Caribou. Caribou is a 2 shielded. This is when this monster gets knocked out. Knock out an opposing sidekick. There we go. And the super rare, or the rare of that, excuse me, is Explosive Body. This is a 3 shielded. When this monster is knocked out in battle, deal damage equal to its defense to an opposing monster. There we go. And then we got the Genie. It's loyal to his master. It's a four-fisted. See right there. And this is whenever you summon a fisted monster, you may spend all copies of this monster up one level. Pretty cool. Next up is Lord of D, Dragon Commander. This is a 3 shield, and guess what? It's a 1/5/5, and it's blank. We like blank ones, don't we? And this is a Lord of the D, Dragon Protector. It's a 4 shield. When this monster is active, it cannot be the target of an opposing action dice or ability. And you got a burst. Your monsters with dragon and the name cannot be a target of opposing action dice or abilities. Wow, very cool. It's getting around those globals. And a lot of these cards are getting around globals and abilities. Okay, Lord of D. It's a 5 shielded dragonkin. When this monster is active, damage to your shielded monsters from fisted or bolted monsters is reduced by 2. Global, pay a shield. Target dragon gets +1 attack and +1 defense. There you go. Lord of Dragons. Alright, next we got Man-Eater Bug, Insectoid, 2-fisted, nice and blank, 2/5/4. Then we have the 4-fisted Insatiable Appetite. When this monster is knocked out in combat, knock out 1 monster, engage with it. There it is right there. And we got Marshmallow Fluffy Fairy, 2 shielded, and it's blank. And we got the Malleable Monster. It's a 3 shield. If this monster is knocked out while blocking, you may pay 1 life to return it to the field at the same level. There it is right there. Next we got Millennium Puzzle, the Internal Dungeon. It's a 5 shielded. When rolled, move this to your field. It does not go to your use pile until used. You may discard this die to send 1 opposing monster to its used pile. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay, now we got a 6-fisted Millennium Rod. A Scepter of Supremacy. We got when rolled, move this to your field. It does not go into your use pile until used. You may discard this die to take control of 1 opposing monster until the end of your turn. You may attack or block with that monster. Cool, cool. That's a little mind control action going on there. Alright. Now we are up to probably the most card character that's going to be used a lot. Used and abused. And that is lo and behold, a 1-fisted mask morphing jar canop jar of 1/4/3. And look, it's blank. And it's 1 point. 1 point. We got like 4 of these. That's awesome. Okay. Next one is the 2-fisted common of that. It's a morphing jar, all-seeing eye. See that right there. This is when summoned, your opponent rolls a die from his prep area. If it rolls a monster face, return it to the prep area. Otherwise, put it in your use pile. So it gets stuff into the use pile. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, next up we got the 4-shielded Mystical Elf. Mystical Healing. When summoned, gain 1 life. A little healing factor. That's cool. Alright, next up we got the Everlasting Support from that. And it's the uncommon, 5-shielded. When this character is knocked out, gain 2 life. Move a die from your used pile to your prep area, excluding this one. It's a global. Pay a shield. Target monster gets +1 defense. So, very cool on that one. Alright, now we get into some good stuff. This is a 7-fisted character. This is one of the gods. It's Obelisk the Tormentor. Fist of Fate. Okay, its top one's a 3/9. This is if this monster is blocked, but is not knocked out, deals damage equal to its attack to your opponent, in addition to the damage it has already dealt to its blocker. Very cool. Little cable action with overpower, you know. And this one is a super rare. It's 8-fisted Obelisk, the Tormentor Intimidator. While this monster is active, your opponent must pay 1 life to summon a monster. Super rare. Look at that. And it's beautiful. Okay, sorry about this video, is going pretty long, but I just wanted to show you guys these. Red Eyes Black Dragon, Inferno Fire Blast. It's a 6-pointed bolted. And there it is right there. Okay. When this monster attacks, knock out all sidekicks of both players. This monster gets +2 attack for each sidekick knocked out in this way. It's a 3/7/7. Okay, we got a 7-pointed bolted. This is the rare Red Eyes Blue Dragon. Claws of Steel. When summoned, level 1 monsters cannot block this turn. A burst when summoned, knock out up to 2 level 1 monsters. There you go. Next up we got Ring of Magnetism. This is a 4-point mask, sidekick attraction. Play on a monster. All opposing sidekicks must attack while the monster is active. This is one of those action object cards. Alright, this one is Ring of Magnetism, 3-point mask, action attraction. Play on a monster. Your opponent's action dice and abilities can only target that monster. And 3-point Sagi, the Dark Clown, Sinister Jester. It's a 1/3/7. And it is blank. The common of that is a Dark Light, 4-point mask, cannot be blocked by sidekicks. If this monster damages the opponent, knock out an opposing sidekick. So there you go. Okay, next one is a 4-point mask. It's a Dark Slayer. Instead of attacking this monster, it may deal 2 damage to an opponent's monster. Okay, we got a 2-point shielded Sangan Clawed Fiend 1/3/2. That's a little guy. Looks sort of like a critter, a little bit, you know. Zealous Supporter. It's a 3-point shield. When this monster gets knocked out, you may return a monster other than this one from your use pile to your prep area. Here is the uncommon. Okay, next up we got the 8 energy bolt. Sliffer the Sky Dragon, growing even stronger. When summoned, you may pay 1 life to spin a die up 1 level. There you go. This looks like the uncommon. And then we got the rare of that is a 7-bolt. Lightning Blast. It just has a global. Pay a bolt to deal 1 damage to your target monster. So pretty much, even if you don't buy this monster, you can just keep this right in your cards, right in your team, and you can literally do like an invisible attack just using a bunch of bolts. So take out the sidekicks, you can take out a low point character, you can do a lot of damage there. So this is an 8 bolted energy bolt, and this is the 2nd super rare of the box. This is Thunder Force Attack. Here it is right there. Oh, it's beauty. He's a 3/10/8, by the way. When summoned, knock out all opposing sidekicks while this monster is active. Sidekicks cost 3 extra energy to summon. And it's got a global. Pay a lightning bolt and move a sidekick die from your prep area to your use pile to deal 1 damage to target player. Next up we got the Summoned Skull. This is a comment. It's a 6-bolted character. When this monster is active, whenever an opponent summons a level 3 monster, deal 2 damage to that opponent. There you go. That is a 2/6/4. Next up is the uncommon of that. It's a lightning storm. It's a 5 bolted. When summoned, and for the rest of the turn, whenever a fisted monster is summoned by either player, deal 2 damage to a target monster. There you go. Okay, next up is the common version of a 6-pointed bolt character, Thousand Dragon Infernal Flame Breath. When summoned, put 2 dice from your bag to your prep area. Fusion. Before you attack, if you move 2 different fusion from the field to your prep area, you may move this die from this card to your prep area. So it is important that it says 2 different ones from your field. I believe when we were test playing it today, we moved 2 baby dragons. And I guess that was wrong. So that was an error on our behalf, so we'll have to remember that in the future. And it's a 176. So there it is right there. Okay, and then this one is the rare version of that. Noxus Nostril Gust. Wow, that's quite a word there. Same fusion. It's got a global. Pay a fist. The next action dice you buy this turn costs 2 less energy. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's a good global. It's not too bad. Okay, so we have a Time Wizard. This is a fusion also. Okay, this is a 5-point. This is the common. And it's a 5-point mask. Turning back time. If I can turn back time. When summoned, you may move up to 2 sidekicks you roll this turn, but not one that paid to summon this from your use pile into your prep area. There you go. We got a 3-point mask. It's a trap hole. It's deep. And it is a knock out a level 1 monster with cost 5 or less. This looks just like a action card character. There you go. We got the trap hole shallow 4 with a mask. Knock out all sidekicks, both players. Some set doesn't like Gobby. Okay, so we have a 5 mask trap hole. It's wide. Determine the lowest attack value of a non-sidekick monster. Knock out all monsters, both players, including sidekicks, with that attack value. Oh. And last but not least is the... I'm going to say that's the uncommon. Yeah, uncommon. The Winged Dragon of Ra. It's a solar deity. It's 7 with a bolted character. When summoned, choose an opposing monster and roll it. If it does not roll a monster face, move it to your prep area. And this is a 3, 8, 10, so a lot of defense. Okay, guys. Well, that just about does it. Sorry for the length of the video. Sorry about our unboxing video being too dark. I just thought I'd make sure to get out what we got. Alright, well, this set just came out, so make sure you grab it before it's sold out. And as for news for Dice Masters, tonight, later on tonight, Thursday night, we have our month 4 for A vs. X. Looking forward to that. We have a pretty cool scenario going on. So, other than that, remember that to pay that extra global to perplex your damage. So, alright, take care everybody. I'll see you later. Have a good night.